Ally Carter just stirred the pot in a way only she can, and Hollywood has been buzzing ever since. The gossip queen herself dropped some explosive claims that Empire star Bryshere Gray and R&B singer August Alsina were secretly involved in a romantic relationship. And trust me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Behind all of this, she hints at deep Hollywood connections, messy entanglements, and a wild web of secrets linking the two men right back to Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, Ally isn't new to shaking things up, but this revelation has the internet in full meltdown mode because it ties into one of the biggest celebrity scandals we've already witnessed, Jada and August's entanglement. Remember that whole saga when August confessed he had a relationship with Jada and even said Will had given him permission? Well, Ally says that whole story wasn't even half the picture. According to her, August's decision to go public about the affair was inspired by someone very close to him at the time, and she claims that someone was Bryshere Gray. Let's rewind to when Bryshere, known back then as Yaz the Greatest, was Hollywood's next big thing. After Empire blew up, he was everywhere. TV interviews, red carpets, performances, you name it. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, his career took a nosedive. He started getting into trouble, got caught up in some really ugly legal situations, and ended up being known more for his mugshots than his acting. And that's where Ally Carter's claims take a darker turn. She and other insiders like Jaguar Wright allege that years ago, Bryshere was introduced to Will Smith through his then-manager Charlie Mack under the pretense of a mentorship program. But word behind the scenes is that the mentorship may not have been about acting or career advice at all.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bryshere Gray left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
According to the rumors, the things that went on in that circle were far more personal and shocking than anyone realized. Some even say Bryshere's own mother, Andrea Mayberry, approved the arrangement, thinking it would advance his career. Instead, it allegedly became something that changed his life forever, and not in a good way.
And about Bryshere's mom, I'ma kick you in your in and I'ma go to work North Philly style. Fuck you and Charlie. You happy now? He's a gay star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life and what you had to do with it. You can see
After that, Bryshere's spark started dimming fast. Legal issues started piling up, domestic abuse charges in 2020, another assault case in 2022, and fans couldn't understand what happened to the kid who had once been all over Fox and BET. Ally hints that much of that chaos might have roots in what he went through during that mentorship phase with Will and the Smith Circle.
Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of...
That came to me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to get Bryshere, to help her get Bryshere out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew she knew what Will did to him. But because of Charlie, see? And Charlie had promised her all kinds of things. And all she had to do was pretend to be a broken down single mom who worked her way up through the ghetto and raised a superstar for television, when the truth is she wasn't nothing but a drug dealer's whore. That's all she ever was. She went from dealer to dealer, and then she snitched on whoever she needed to snitch on until she could get to the bigger bag, until she got with Larry Lair, my friend who raised Bryshere in $1 million home. Your whole book is lies, Andy. And I hope anybody that bought it ask for a refund and demands it comes out of your pocket every time they see your son's gay porn. You and Charlie Mack. They trying to slay him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Okay.
I really hope none of that baby oil was used on those kids. That would just be in bad taste. Baby oil on babies.
You can't say that the flavor camp was sponsored by Johnson & Johnson. You just come on. Come on.
Starting to sound that way, ain't it?
No.
All that talent, and she let Charlie tune that boy up, knowing that he was bipolar and had ADHD. What kind of mother would do that to her son? Turn him into a prostitute so you could pretend to be something more than what you are, which is nothing more than a Philly whore. You're a whore. You're a bigger whore than they're making your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't have no choice. You was down by all. I'm sorry. The Bryshere conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his fucking book.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Don't nobody care about these kids. Don't nobody care about these kids.
Now jump to August Alsina, who made headlines back in 2020 for his famous confession about Jada. That was the story that introduced entanglement into pop culture history and had everyone from Twitter to talk shows eating it up. Jada tried to downplay it, saying it wasn't really anyone's business but theirs, but the public was hooked. She described her time with August as a relationship that gave her healing, since things with Will were complicated at the time. But Allie Carter says there's even more to that story. Her claim, while all that was going on, August had grown close to Bryshere. And not just as friends, she alleges there was a secret romantic relationship developing behind the scenes between the two men. According to her, they bonded over shared experiences, trauma, and the confusion that came from being caught up in Hollywood's most powerful circles. That's when things really start sounding like a movie script. After his connection with the Smiths, August stepped back from the limelight for a while. When he reemerged, he revealed he was in a relationship with a man, and fans noticed how different he seemed. Meanwhile, Bryshere had started appearing in adult content featuring men and trans partners, which fans found surprising after his old ladies' man image. The internet went digging, trying to connect timelines, and let's just say Allie Carter's story gave them plenty of material to work with. Of course, no one from the Smith camp or either of the two men has confirmed anything. Everyone involved has stayed silent, which only fuels speculation. Fans are all over social media debating whether Allie is exposing buried truths or just telling another Hollywood tall tale. But even people skeptical of her claims admit they find the pattern she points out suspicious. How both August and Bryshere's lives took similar turns after their respective encounters with this same famous family. Still, as wild as these claims sound, the pieces fit together in a way that's hard for gossip lovers to ignore. Will and Jada's names have been tied to so many eyebrow-raising situations that even the wildest rumors find an audience. Allie Carter's timing couldn't be juicier, and her delivery has people glued to every word, dissecting timeline overlaps, interviews, and cryptic posts on social media for clues. Right now, Hollywood's keeping quiet, but fans are loud. Some are defending Bryshere in August, saying what happened to them highlights how young stars get lost in fame. Others believe Allie completely, saying her version explains too much to be dismissed. The truth might still be buried, but one thing's certain, this story has reignited interest in one of the entertainment world's most bizarre, tangled, and dramatic sagas. And as Allie herself would probably say, the tea is far from being finished brewing.